It's the life of divine favor. Hi, and welcome to another episode of The Life of Divine Favor. I'm your host, and today I have a very special guest with me, Miss Ebonie Carter-Reid. So glad to have you on The Life of Divine Favor.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Today we're going to be talking about women's health issues, and she's going to introduce herself and tell you a little bit about herself before we get started.
Well, my name is Ebonie Carter-Reid. I'm currently a student at Armstrong State University. I'm currently working on my bachelor's degree in healthcare and healthcare sciences, and after that I'll be working toward my master's in healthcare administration. And my main focus is women's health issues. I really have a heart for women's health issues, and that's going to be my primary area of focus. Primary area.
Very good. We are looking forward to her actually graduating from the programs, and I know that she's going to have a bright future in her career, so we commend you, Miss Reid. Indeed. Before we get started a little bit, guys, this is a very important subject, so please make sure that you got your listening ears on. Ladies of all ages, young and old, need to hear this, okay? So be sure to share this video, send it to someone that you think might need to hear the information that's given today. So you had 3 points that you wanted to discuss with us today.
Yeah, I do. I have three what I call keys to know that women really need to focus on. To know, of course, there's always more extensive things that women can find out about themselves individually and health issues. But I feel that just to get a start, there are 3 areas that most women need to focus on. And part of my journey, about 2 years ago, I found myself in very poor health. I had been going through a lot where I had emotional, mental health issues. I had physical health issues. I had high blood pressure. I was pre-diabetic, and I just generally felt awful. I was in a lot of physical pain. And then, I had to figure out a way to try to get myself in a place where I could be there, not just for myself, but for my children. As a mom, we all, a lot of times our children are our primary focus, but we forget unless we get ourselves healthy and get ourselves where we should be, we can't even be there for our children. So I had to look internally within myself to try to figure out, okay, what is it, what are the things that are going on with me? And that's where, I came, to understand, some of the keys and some of the things involved in going through that process. And the first thing I needed to do, I need to find out what was going on with me, and the first key would be, knowing your health numbers. We need to know what our blood pressure numbers are, whether you have high blood pressure or, and then we have to understand what those numbers mean. When you have your blood pressure taken and they tell you where your blood pressure is, 80 over 100 or what is it, 100 over 80? I'm sorry, I'm nervous. But, we have to understand what those numbers mean. Understanding that, anything over 80 is considered high, anything over the top number, anything over 130 is considered high. And we have to get those things checked out. We may have to make dietary adjustments. We may have to take medication. But whatever we need to do, we need to do it so that we can be healthy. Also, we need to know our waist size. A lot of people, when you take that waist measurement, they don't realize that anything over 35 inches, it really puts you at risk for a lot of diseases, heart disease, heart attack. Heart disease is one of the very high is one of the diseases that really kill women. And a lot of women aren't aware of that. A lot of women, especially black women, because we have, our diets, our good food that we like to eat, a lot of us do suffer from heart disease. And this layer of fat that we have around our abdomen, it can carry a lot of, have a lot of health issues if we don't get that taken care of.
Yes, indeed. Okay, so guys, as you can hear, keep check on your blood pressure. That could be both men and women, but since we're talking about women right now, women, please make sure you get your blood pressure checked at least once a month or more. If you already know that you've been diagnosed with high blood pressure, just like myself, I have been diagnosed with hypertension. I've done a lot better now as an older woman than I did as a younger woman, keeping control of my blood pressure, finding out what works for me, whether it's meds or whether it's natural, remedies that, like for instance, I do the apple cider vinegar. With water. It also not only helps regulate my blood pressure, but it also helps to regulate some weight loss. So it is very, very good. One of the brands that I use is Bradley or Bragg's. You can find it in your health food store, so make sure you look for that. It's not expensive at all. And so what is one of the other points that you want to talk about?
As far as knowing your numbers, also know your weight. And believe it or not, a lot of people are walking around and they really don't even know exactly how much they weigh, because it can be scary. When you step on the scale and you see that number, you can be afraid of it, but you can't be afraid of knowing what's going on with yourself. And also your cholesterol numbers, and also your body mass index. Understanding your percentage of fat in your body. At one point I was horrified to find out that I was over 50% fat. I mean, it was like, really? Really? I'm walking around and I'm in this state, and you don't realize it until you get an understanding of how, these things can help you to know, okay, I have to make changes in my life. Even if, for me, when I was, 80 pounds heavier than I am now, I felt horrible. But we have some people that they may feel fine. But then when they see these numbers, they understand, well, I may feel fine, but actually I'm not fine.
That's correct. I personally had some experience with the body mass index. I found out that at some point in my life I was actually starving myself and didn't even realize it, because I was so keen on losing the weight, losing the abdominal fat, because all of mine came from having children. It wasn't the overeating or anything, because I never was an overeater, but it was just the appearance. And so because I was so worried about the appearance, that I started cutting down on my calorie count, and the calorie count that I was using was 1,200. And I found out, based on my body mass index, which includes my height, I was not eating enough calories.
You were starving yourself.
And I was starving myself. And when your body is starving itself, it's storing fats to try to overtake what it is that it thinks that your body is missing. Your body thinks it's missing something. And in actuality, I had to go all the way up to 2,200 calories for my body mass index. And then I started losing weight. And I lost over maybe 17 pounds in a year. So it was really great. And I still have a little bit more to do.
We all do.
I'm staying encouraged. And I want you all to encourage me and encourage Miss Reed, encourage other women in your life, your mothers, your sisters, your aunts, your grandmothers, whoever it is in your life. Encourage them to continue on. It is a struggle.
Yes,
it is a struggle, more so for women than it is for men, with losing that body.
It's a journey. That's what I like to think of it as, a journey. And I'm glad you mentioned weight loss, because a lot of people, they get stuck on the key of weight loss. Weight loss is a after effect of gaining good health. As you work on the different issues in your life that lead to good health, the weight loss will come. Those changes will bring about weight loss. So really, I believe that women should concentrate on the good health and being healthier, and then the weight loss will come as a side effect of gaining good health.
That's correct. Absolutely. Do you have anything else you want to share with us today?
Yes. I want to talk about, the second area that I've, come to understand, the second key to women's good health. Just knowing your body. becoming familiar with yourself. You know, a lot of times, you know, we as women, we get up, we get dressed, we don't take the time to look at our bodies. You know, because sometimes women feel like, hey, I don't see what's going on. But you know what, sisters, you have got to see what's going on. You know, you have got to stand there in that mirror and see what's going on. You know, and this being National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, October, you know, take the time to do that breast self-exam. You know, if you're over 40, please go and have a mammogram. These are things that, you know, that we have to do as women, especially as we get older. You know, become familiar with yourself. You know, a lot of people don't realize women of color, we are at risk for skin cancer. You know, because we get moles and different little spots on our bodies, and we never think to go to the doctor and have those things checked out as we get older. But, you know, I found out, you know, Bob Marley died from skin cancer. And a lot of people of color, by the time they realize there's something going on with that mole or that skin discoloration, the cancer has spread from that spot to the remainder of their bodies. And so you'll just hear, oh, well, they died of cancer. But it started off as skin cancer, something that is very, very treatable and preventable. So know your bodies, know what you look like, know what your back looks like. You know, I joke sometimes, I tell people you should be able to identify, you know, your female area in a lineup. You know, get a mirror, you know, and men too. You know what's going on down there. You know, because that's an area that's critical. You shouldn't just think about that area, you know, when you want to think about that area. It should be part of your health regimen to do your breast exams, and also knowing what's going on with your body and being familiar with yourself. You know.
So absolutely, you heard a very good key, ladies and gentlemen. You heard that coming from Miss Reid. You know that you do need to know your body. Young ladies, I'm talking to those under the age of 21. Know your bodies. There's a lot of books out there, and I'm going to put the link on with this show for the young ladies to know where you can get the book at where it talks about your body and understanding and knowing yourself. You know, our young women really need to know that before they get our age over 40.
Because guess what? It changes as you get older. It doesn't, you know, I'm 42. It don't look like it looked when I was 19. So you know what? Hey, but you know, it's just knowing yourself. That's part of the process of knowing yourself. You know, and the third key would be, you know, your emotional health, your mental health. You know, acknowledging how you feel. You know, when people are telling you, oh, you seem like you're in a bad mood today, or you're not behaving like yourself, you know, it's not always the other person that's at fault. You know, there are actual conditions that we, as we get older, you know, we deal with PMS, we deal with depression, we deal with anxiety. A lot of people, you know, they don't like to talk about mental health issues. But, you know, I've had to deal with several of those things, and I've had to acknowledge and accept that those are part of me, and I had to deal with them. You know, you may be able to deal with it through counseling or herbal remedies or exercise and diet, but you may need to be on medication. It may be permanent, it may be temporary, but whatever you need to do for yourself, you do it, because I've come to realize that there's only one me. And I have to take care of me.
If you don't do it, nobody else will. You must know your mental health, guys, as you heard it. You know, a lot of women, both from other cultures, not just black women, suffer from mental illnesses, and we don't even realize it. You know, our day-to-day lives are already stressful. Having to take care of families, husbands, even if you're single, you're having to take care of yourself, make ends meet. There are stresses that come from marriages, relationships, divorces, deaths, babies. All of these things can happen to you, you know, at any age, at any time, any race, any culture, and you must, like you said, know who you are. If you're suffering from bipolar, attitude problems, schizophrenia,
whatever it
is, don't be ashamed of it. You know, get yourself some help.
That's right.
You know, that's very important. I too, you know, went through some depression. I went through postpartum depression really,
Yes,
really bad because I had
did too.
my youngest child. I was already in my 30s. I was already over the age of 30 when I had her, and it really affected me really, really bad. And I really didn't know how to deal with it. And it took someone similar to Miss Reed to talk to me and tell me, you know, that I really needed to research some things and change some things about me. And I had to learn to accept it. And the biggest thing, like you said, is acceptance.
And it's okay.
It is.
It's okay. It's a part of being human. You know, we have flaws. You know, God still loves us.
That's right.
He made us.
That's
you
right.
know,
Yes,
He loves
he did.
us. You
Yes,
know,
he
loves us. And you know, it's like, you know, the word says all good things, they come from God.
Yes.
You know, and anytime we have these issues, you know, we should be willing to seek and accept the help that we need so that we can be all that He would call us to be and He would want us to be.
Yes, Lord. Praise God. So today we talked about women's health. We talked about knowing your numbers. We talked about weight loss. We talked about blood pressure issues. We talked about mental health issues. We covered a lot of ground today in this segment, and this won't be the last time that Ms. Reed stops by to see us, because we're going to continue on, because I want my sisters, I want the women out there, I want the men out there to be healthy, okay? And I'm working on it too. You have seen me come down over the last couple of years. I'm much smaller than I used to be. Hallelujah.
Yes,
and I'm going to come down some more. Miss Divine Favor is not through, guys. You haven't seen anything. So I thank you so much for coming in. And let me give you just a little bit of information about Divine Favor for just a moment. As you know, I have a interview coming up that's going to air on November 10th at 1 o'clock with iGospel Radio. Please make sure you're ready to tune into that. We just got a few more weeks. And I will be performing this weekend here in Savannah. They're having a rally for Stop the Violence. And I will be performing at Forsyth Park. I'm not sure about the time yet, but if you're here in Savannah or the surrounding areas, come on out. March with us against the violence here, the death of Charles Smith. All of these things are going to be covered on Saturday, and let's pray that our city does the right thing by us, because they're trying to stop the rally right now, but we must go on and we must continue trying to, you know, protect our communities and provide a way to stop the violence here. So Divine Favor will be performing at that event this Saturday. And we thank you for coming in so much. And you guys, make sure you're ready to tune in next week, where my special guest will be Sylvester Jackson Jr. He is a recording artist, a quartet singer, and you guys are going to enjoy him, trust me. You guys take care. Have a good evening. Bye.